Hi, it's Allie Hartwick here. And today, as usual, I'm bringing you a comedian. And this is someone that you may recognize from her work as recently as this Saturday, because it's Saturday Night Live's Melissa Villasenor.
Hey everyone, what's up, Denver?
Hi.
Oh my gosh, good to see you, Allie.
It is so good to see you. I'm thrilled to be talking to you this morning. Yeah, I'm a huge, huge fan of
Thank
Saturday
you.
Night Live and of yours. And so
Thanks.
this is just thrilling to talk to you, especially because towards the end of last season, you were doing SNL from home. And this is kind of how we interacted with you and saw you for the end of that season.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, there's for some sketches, actually, no, the ones that I had to be in, there was so much setup of lighting, angles, and I was getting frustrated, with the director. I was like, can I just put the camera here? And he's like, no, we got to make it like a sketch, So it was good learning for me on the other side of it,
Yeah.
Yeah, my house, my mom was a little upset. It's not complete, and everything in the background was it's pretty empty. But yeah, I think it was okay. I was glad to do my John Mulaney impression. That was fun.
I mean, anyone who watches SNL knows that impressions are what you do best, and you're transformative in your impressions. How do you nail down a perfect impression of someone? What's the process like?
I think it's more of the obsession of the person. I think that's what it comes down to. Like sometimes for me, it's me leaning on to someone that fills a certain confidence in me. Like J-Lo is like, that helps me feel sexy. Just going like, yeah, A-Rod, get me my fur coat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. And Owen Wilson brings me peace, because he's so soothing. He's just like, yeah, we're just gonna hang out in the park. Yeah. And it's just me watching them over and over, and I don't know. And even like the recent one I've been working on is Lily Tomlin. I really love her, and I've watched a lot of Grace and Frankie, so I realize she's just always a little flustered, like, oh gosh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I have to go to the market. I don't want to go right now. And she has like a lot of, I don't know. And it's just about, me loving the person and just, just getting obsessed with them. That's what
I feel like you must watch Netflix like Grace and Frankie so much differently than many of us do, because are you constantly trying to like imitate mannerisms and pick up on things from people?
No. I think it's better when I'm actually just sitting there enjoying the show, not trying hard. Because sometimes that's when it occurs. Like I'll go to sleep, and then I just start feeling them come on. I don't think that's how most of the best ones, I think, is just when they surprise me, because I didn't set out to learn Lily. I was just enjoying the show. Yeah. So that's I love that when that happens. And yeah, sometimes there's cases where, with SNL the night before, they're like, okay, now you got to play Rachel Maddow. Then yes, I'm watching clips and like paying attention to all the mannerisms and how she speaks on the side of her mouth. And I don't know. Yeah, I think both ways. Yeah, but I like the magical way when it just appears and I don't even try.
So do people that treat this as some sort of like party trick? Like, oh, Melissa's here, do an impression, go.
I think my family knows by now that I don't like that, but I think I'm more than happy to slip them in conversations, and I think naturally is the way I love it, although on my dad's birthday, I dressed as Lin-Manuel for the whole day, and that was very weird. I don't know if he liked. I mean, that was just me trying to be silly, because these days it's like whatever gets you sillier and wackier, I'm just gonna lean into it. That's why I dyed my hair a little bit of blue.
I did a little bit of pink in mine because I bored, and I thought, why not?
You just need more color,
Yeah. All right. So you were the first regular Latina cast member on SNL. I think you could potentially be the first female Alexander Hamilton if you can do the Lin-Manuel. Like, can we make this happen?
Yeah, I gotta tell him. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, say it's from me, because any connection to Lin-Manuel, I'd like die over.
Oh my God, he's the best. Yeah, no, that's a real honor, and I hope I'm doing good for the Latinos. it's amazing. I didn't even realize that when I got the show. I was like, really? And then, yeah, what an honor.
It's great. I mean, hard to believe that, SNL's been a whole lot of white men for a really long time, but things are changing.
I know.
It's great.
No, it's changing. It's getting good. I'm glad.
The show is fantastic, and we're going to deep dive into it because I've been a fan of SNL since I was a kid, as I'm sure you were too. Mm-hmm. I just always want to know what that atmosphere is like, what it's like having your job be what so many of us would consider a dream job.
Yeah. It's both. I mean, it's a roller coaster. I think that's the best way people describe the show because, I mean, you can work on something you think is going to be in the show and then it's not in the show. So or you could be not in the show at all and it could be really painful too. So it's, I don't know, but then there's magical moments. I think that's what makes the show good is like, you have to be patient and then you get a really good shining moment. And I think everyone does. And I think I'm someone that works good with patience. And I think if I'm featured a lot, I think I get nervous of the pressure. So I think it works out. My journey, I could see each season, I keep getting better and at my own pace. And I think that's really cool. And I always get starstruck too. Oh, sorry. What?
No, I was just going to ask you how this season has been because it's been very comedian heavy for hosts, and that's great because the monologues go on a little bit longer. They're a little more full of like commentary, and you're one of the few people in entertainment like actually back at work. So I guess I just want to know how this season's going.
I forget that. I have to remind myself like, whoa, that's crazy. I mean, it's a tougher year because we're so separated from each other when normally we hang out with each other and work on stuff. So it's a little harder with that. And then the masks and and it's a big cast too. So it's very hard to get in the show from my angle. But I think it's been a challenging season, but then again, there's been amazing stuff. I mean, I love Chappelle so much. That was beautiful.
His episode was incredible. One of my favorites I've seen in a very long time.
So I think, and it's been so cool to watch Jim Carrey. I mean, he was my favorite as a kid too. I mean, he was the reason why I got into comedy.
Man, is he a normal guy when he's hanging out with you, or is he always?
Yeah, he's actually very quiet. I mean, I went and said hello to him, and he's very like, oh wow, thank you, because I was like, oh, Jim Carrey, you're my favorite. And he's like, thank you so much. Oh no, and he's very, I don't know, from that when I said hi to him, he was very just humble and sweet and shy almost, which is, I don't know, I love that. One time I met Robert De Niro, and that was funny because I walked by his dressing room. And we made eye contact, and I was like, oh, because I got nervous because that's Robert De Niro. So then I ran in my dressing room, and I was like, I had to talk to myself, like, Melissa, you're on this cast too. Go say hi to him. And so I walked back with confidence. I'm like, Robert, I'm Melissa. And then he made his face like, hey, how's it going? But he was very nice. He wasn't as intimidating as I thought.
Do you get starstruck ever with hosts coming in? I mean, I look at you like, oh my gosh, you are a star. Well, so it's weird thinking about people I see as huge stars getting starstruck.
It happens all the time. I mean, because it's all about, who I grew up watching. And I think the little kid version of you is just like, wow! That's how Heidi and I were when the Strokes came to play a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I have this photo of us where we're just like giddy. You just see our teenage version of ourselves. Like it's really special. I think that's so cool. I got starstruck with Tom Hanks, and J-Lo, when I was just staring at her. I mean, she's beautiful and a legend, she paved the way. I mean, she's incredible. So I got really I get starstruck all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of cool though.
Oh yeah.
I think at least. Yeah. So out of the years that you've been on SNL, have there been any sketches that you're like, oh, I really love these. They have a special place like in your heart?
Yes. So when I did my Nickelback sketch where I'm dying Miss Gomez, the old lady that her last words are the Nickelback song, How You Remind Me, That was my second
Classic.
year. And that meant a lot because I was kind of on in a place where like, I don't know where I belong in the show. I don't think my ideas are funny. And thankfully my friend Steven, who's a writer on the show, very funny comedian, he saw my stand-up once and he was like, let's do your stand-up bit about you dying to Nickelback. And we just wrote it one night and then it just did so well. And it was so much fun. And I think once I realized, oh, this was just from an idea I had that makes me laugh. And it's a sketch. So that was a big moment in my heart because I realized, oh, my ideas are enough. My view, the way I think is funny. So going forth, I had a little more confidence in myself. And then I think the Lady Gaga update was my favorite because it is kind of just the perfect mix of what I love to do. I love being myself. I love speaking as myself. And that's thanks to stand-up. And then I love doing impressions. On top of that, singing impressions. So it was just the perfect mix. And I want to do more of that on the show.
I would love for you to do more of that on the show. For anyone who hasn't seen the sketch that Melissa is referencing, it's a Weekend Update. You are Lady Gaga. You are Lady Gaga. And you are such a talented singer.
Thanks. I want to get better training as I would love to do some Broadway in the future.
Well,
but,
you're going to be Hamilton. We've already decided.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so there's been some really cool, really sweet moments. So, yeah, very grateful.
So stand up. I always love when comedians that we know from one area, for you being SNL, come to us here in Denver and we get to see you on a stage in a very different format. So you were saying that Nickelback sketch came from something in your stand up, but overall, like I assume we're not going to go watch the best of Melissa Villasenor impressions.
Right. No, and that's something that's good to share because in the 45, 50 minutes I perform, it's a total mix of what I love to do. So there's plenty of voices and singing and wackiness, but there's also, I make jokes about myself, my weirdness, and then my family. I love talking about my family and my parents. I imitate my mom and my abuelita. And I like having a mix of everything. And I love where it's going. It feels so good. And it's fulfilling because I knew that early on. I was a little brat about it in my early years of like, I don't want to just be an impressionist because it always, I don't know, it just hurts to just be like, oh, I don't care about the person you are. I just want to see you do voices. But that's not, I just feel like in my life, I want to share my story, so all my stuff is very silly and I try to always make sure everything comes with love and just a silly good time. I try to do that.
We're super looking forward to your silly good time here in Denver because you're going to be at Comedy Works South.
Yeah, and I've never before the lockdown in March. I had a weekend in Denver, and I'd never been. And I know I have great fans in Denver, and I was looking forward to it so much. And then we had to cancel it, unfortunately. But now I'm back, guys. And so I'm very excited to go. And hopefully, I think it'll be, very cautious and safe. But yeah, it'll be good.
Comedy Works, for those of you who haven't been, is doing a wonderful job with their social distancing and COVID protocols. Awesome. It's amazing. I've been to a few shows since they've reopened and felt so safe and secure. So you can just have a silly, fun, good time and not be worried like, oh, are we all catching a disease that is going to kill us?
I know it's crazy, but yeah, the masks do help. I mean,
things like science, when you start listening to them, things happen.
I know. I got to make masks with my artwork on them. I need to do that.
You do everything. You're an impressionist, a comedian, a singer. You're an artist. Like, is there something you don't do or something you do poorly?
I mean, I play. I'm not good at guitar, and I would love to really work on that when I get the time. But I just need to work on guitar.
Swimming or something? I need you to be bad at something.
No, I'm bad at keeping plants alive. Okay. I'm bad at cooking. I'm bad at remembering things. I'm very forgetful, and that really hurts people's feelings.
Yeah, see, we need to humanize you here.
I run late to things. Oh my God, no, there's plenty. I'm quite a see, I put all the energy in the art world, and then everything else is just shattered.
I get that. I do. But you at least are like good at the art world. I'm so immersed in my craft that I'm not very good at.
Yeah, I think it's just the practice of it. I think maybe it's because I've been so much of an independent loner throughout the journey that every free moment I have, I just draw or do something creative just because I get emotional. But it feels really good. It fulfills me.
Well, good. Yeah. Oh my God, this is like such a nice little morning chat. I feel ready to start my day.
This feels good. Feels good for me. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be awesome to have you here in Denver. We're so looking forward to it. Oh, you're getting a little look at your apartment here.
Well, I want to show you, my art mural of flowers, and then my bird wall.
Oh man.
And then my Penny. Here's Penny. Penny.
Oh, hi, Penny. Penny, you are so sweet. How old is she?
She'll be 2. She's so sleepy right now, but we're gonna go she needs to work on her with the dog trainer a little bit more this morning.
Oh my gosh, Penny, for a 2-year-old doggy, you are so well behaved and snoozy.
She's a sweetie. She's a sweet
Oh,
girl.
now you're making me want to go home and kiss my dog a bunch.
Oh, it's the best.
Don't tell him that we cheated with another doggy.
Okay, I won't.
All right, so you are going to be Comedy Works South this weekend. The information's right below us, scrolling along right now.
2 shows Thursday through Saturday. And my friend Tom Takar, I don't know if you've seen his stand-up on Comedy Central and Netflix. He's hilarious. And you know what? Might be funnier than me, but but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's one of my favorite comedians to watch. And so I think I'm really looking forward to a good show.
We are too. You can buy tickets comedyworks.com. And hopefully we will see you this weekend, Melissa. Thanks so much for coming in and joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
As you know, you can also see Melissa on Saturday Night Live. Check out clips of her on YouTube. And then comedyworks.com is where you go to get tickets. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'm Allie Hartwick, and it's been a great Monday morning.